Animals are innocent, like children. They need protection. Save them now, save them now.
Hello students, welcome to class. In the past, I've done several videos exposing Ben Shapiro as a narcissistic hypocrite who says he stands for the sanctity of life and defending the innocent. He's against abortion, while at the same time he routinely pays people in the meat, dairy, and egg industries to rape, torture, confine, kidnap, and murder vulnerable animals who have never done a single thing wrong to him ever. I've pointed out to Ben Shapiro that taking part in this purely selfish act, just because he likes the way the animal's limp bodies taste, is wrong. Ben knows that the science clearly states that anyone who lives near a store can thrive as a vegan. He also knows that vegans are strong enough to be in the Olympics by eating healthy vegan foods. In fact, Ben himself has acknowledged his own hypocrisy on this issue, but has yet to do anything to change because, like women who have routine and reckless abortions, Ben just can't be bothered to care beyond himself and see the victims. In other words, like women who choose to abort for purely selfish reasons just because they feel like it, Shapiro chooses, for purely selfish reasons, to end hundreds of lives each year for the same reason. Because he feels like it. Shapiro should follow his own logic by being morally consistent and becoming vegan from now on.
The egg industry is just a cycle of misery. They lie to you endlessly. Don't buy eggs, walk away. Go to egg-truth.com today.
Further to this, Ben Shapiro is also for the genital mutilation and child abuse of baby boys at birth by way of forced circumcision without consent or valid reason. Ben, like many others of different faiths, hides behind his Jewish religion to allow this horrifically abusive act instead of seeing the correlation with abortion of a baby and the murder of innocent animals. It's time for Ben to wake up. He's long overdue to speak out in a consistent manner against all of these barbaric acts instead of cherry-picking to suit his political and religious ideologies. Okay, so we're going to listen to what Ben Shapiro calls woke TikToks. We're going to just react to them, see what we think. You guys tell me in the comments below if you agree with what he's saying or if you disagree. Here we go.
Here we go. Oh no, I can see from this face, the crazy eyes are already here. All right.
Get angry! This is atrocious! This is war on women! How f***ing dare the Supreme Court do this sh**? You, Kavanaugh! You, Gorsuch, for lying under oath when you were confirmed, saying that you believe that this was settled! Women will die! But as long as it fits your Christian damn narrative, it must be correct. White women of privilege will still have access after their senators f*** them.
What's going on with you? What are you talking about?
Poor working mothers will not. Young women who are victims of sexual assault will not. Women
I'm not sure if what she's saying is the truth, but let's keep watching.
who found out that their child is not viable in the third trimester will not. And who the knows what's going to happen ectopically, because have you men prove that you don't know what an ectopic pregnancy is? How do I have less rights than my mother?
No, you have less brain cells than your mother.
Ooh, that's mean. Come on, Ben. That's not necessary. I don't like it when people do that.
Or fewer, rather. She actually makes some arguments here amid the screaming. It was hard to, pierce through the veil of just loud. First of all, there's not a single state in the country that is going to prevent the abortion or removal of an ectopic pregnancy. There's literally no legislative language that does any of this.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, an ectopic pregnancy is a pregnancy that occurs not in the uterus.
As far as the argument that millions of women are going to die from this, that's just a lie. It's not true. If you look back to the Guttmacher Institute statistics from the 1960s, when abortion was widely banned, the number of women who died every year thanks to botched abortions was extraordinarily low. Statistically speaking, it's going to be even lower now. Okay? As far as the argument that she's making about white privileged women will still be able to get abortions, but that's because of the left, not because of the right, meaning that the right would like those privileged white women also not to get abortions, last I checked. Like, I don't want any of these women to get abortions.
You gotta stop killing everybody!
It is always fascinating to me how the left likes to use edge cases as opposed to the mainstream case. So the young girl who gets raped, and she's going to have to now bear the baby. That is not nearly the vast majority of abortions in this country. They're using edge cases because even if you said to them, okay, well, we will say that you can have abortions in these cases, they would say, but yes, but what we actually want is just abortion across the board for all time for any reason whatsoever.
I need your money to kill them.
I know he has people that he pays to edit these things, but I don't personally, that's my own opinion, I don't like all these little edits in between. I just want to, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like these things? Do you find them funny? I just find them annoying.
Babies by abortion.
So those edge cases are just an excuse for them to get the policy they actually want. They won't argue on the core policy because it's just too ugly for them. They don't like that core policy. But again, reality matters not to these people. The only thing that matters to them is that they're very, very angry because they like abortion an awful lot.
Just heard the news about Roe v. Wade, and we in the Jewish community are horrified.
No.
This is a huge problem.
He's a Jewish man, so he disagrees with her.
For us, all of us in the Jewish community, because we as a religion support abortion.
Nope.
If someone needs an abortion because their baby is sick, they're allowed to do it according to Jewish law. If being pregnant is causing a tremendous amount of stress for the mother, then according to Jewish law, she is allowed to have an abortion.
No.
So to all of you out there that are outraged by this, we as a Jewish community, we support you.
Nope. Agudat Israel, which is an Orthodox group, came out with a statement of support for the
Do we really care what religious people think about things? Can we not just realize that everyone is an individual? This is exactly why I think that religion does more harm than good. Because people within the same religion often argue, often disagree. You can look at the Bible, the Quran, whatever book, and somebody will say, I like this and I like that, but they're completely contradictory things. And then, you know, we wonder why people fight all the time under the name of religion. Like, who cares what the book says?
Overruling of Roe versus Wade. Rabbi J. David Blech, who is one of the founders of sort of bioethics in the Orthodox Jewish community, had an article talking about why the overruling of Roe versus Wade was good. The very best you can say is maybe what the Orthodox Union said. They put out a very milquetoast statement suggesting that they couldn't either mourn or support because Jewish law is nuanced on these issues. But
okay, that's good. At least you're admitting that it's nuanced because people often disagree.
The nuance in Jewish law completely disregards the idea from the left that abortion on demand is an inherent good. Jewish law says that if you want an abortion, you have to go to a rabbi, part of the patriarchy, and you have to get a heter, meaning some sort of permission, in order...
A rabbi, what did he say about patriarchy? Are rabbis only men? You need to get a permission slip
to get the abortion. And only the most permissive authorities, you're talking about fringe permissive authorities, allow abortions in some of the kinds of cases she's talking about. And there are certain rabbanim, ranging from Moshe Feinstein to Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik, who say that it is equivalent to murder. So, no. I mean, this is just...
Okay.
Just wrong, and the attempt to turn Judaism...
Doesn't it depend on the age of the fetus in the womb? I mean, I think everybody would agree that it's very different to have an abortion at 4 weeks, at 8 weeks, versus at 8 months. No?
Into a pro-abortion religion is ridiculous. At the best, you can say that Judaism is more nuanced than Catholicism, but it is in no way a pro-choice religion by any stretch of the imagination.
This is bigger than just wanting to have an abortion whenever you want. And if you think it isn't, you're the problem.
Oh.
This is bigger than your political views, than your religious views. This is about the woman who tried to have a baby so bad and ended up having a miscarriage, who now has to go stand on trial.
What?
This is about the woman...
Wait, what? Even I'm saying what to that. What? Why would she be on trial for having a miscarriage?
Who was raped or incest or just doesn't want to have a baby because she's not ready, because she's mentally not...
Okay, I have to agree with him there. The last one. It's different than the others.
Prepared, or the woman who could end up dying. It's not up to you. And if you think that this is helping anything, you're so wrong. We are moving so far back in history, and if you think that this is just the beginning, you're wrong. If we don't stand up now and do something about this, The Handmaid's Tale is going to be more than
The
just
Handmaid's
a show.
Tale. My God, read another fucking book.
I am sick.
I'm not sure what he just said. Read another fucking book, or read, what is he saying?
Look at my daughters and tell them that they're growing up in an amazing place when they're not.
Oh! Okay, so stop citing The Handmaid's Tale. It's garbage. It's stupid. It's a bad book. It's a worse series.
Your existence is
Okay, I don't think she's referring to whether it is badly written. I think she is referring to what's in The Handmaid's Tale, which is the very scary idea that women will be turned into some kind of a baby-making machines. That's what she's referring to, Ben. Hopefully he's going to talk about that.
God's failure.
I love when these people say, how am I going to tell my daughters that abortion won't be legal for them? You might tell them that the reason that you're alive right now is because you were a human life in the womb, and if we had actually taken my logic to its extreme and I decided that I just didn't feel like you, you'd be dead right now and not...
Okay, so the person wouldn't exist. They wouldn't know pain or suffering or good or bad. I don't know what you're saying, Ben. What does that have to do with what's going on here?
Not here. Also, the conflation of all these issues. Like, well, you know, a woman who had a miscarriage, she's going to be brought up... Under what rubric is a woman with a miscarriage going to be brought up on trial?
Here I agree with him. I don't know what she's talking about. That just was a weird thing. You know, sometimes people misspeak. They want to say something, but they say the opposite. Is that possible what happened here? I don't know.
The hell are you talking about?
The hell are you talking about?
Oh, I hate these little clips that are supposed to keep us engaged and interested. I just find them annoying.
If you think you live in a dystopian country, try Europe, where they've had more significant abortion restrictions for literally decades than the United States, but you seem to think that everything is free and happy over there. Oh, no.
Okay, I don't really know what the facts about abortion are in Europe. It would be nice if he had spoken a little bit more about that. But now you can see right away he's judging just by the way this person looks before she even opens her mouth. I don't know that I like that. I don't feel good about it. How do you guys feel about that?
Human rights are going to start falling down.
How does she eat with that?
All right, LGBTQ.
Okay. Would I ever get piercings like that? No. Is she allowed to do that to her own body? Yeah. Does that have anything to do with the conversation right now? No. And if he doesn't like body mutilation, why doesn't he speak out against circumcision of baby boys, which is what they do in the Jewish religion, where they pin down a baby and they come at the baby with a knife to cut off the tip of his penis, just because a religious book tells them that it is a good idea, that they should look like their fathers. Instead, Ben, if you are against harming innocent babies, then maybe you should speak out against what your religion tells you is okay to do, which is to hurt these innocent babies, to basically perform a mutilative surgery on them. You mutilate them by removing a part of their body without consent. Circumcision should be for people who are adults, and they can decide for themselves if they want to have something chopped off or added on or whatever. It should be for when you're an adult, 18 or over. If you then have a boy and you tell somebody to pin him down and to cut off the tip of his penis, then you are a child abuser. You should be in jail for that. There is no necessary reason to do that. And now you're going to focus in and zoom on this woman who is a grown adult who chooses to do that by herself. What does this have to do with the issue of harming others? That's the topic, isn't it?
Plus community, we're next on the chopping block. And birth control. And possibly interracial marriage.
What?
I agree with his what there. She's saying that this is going to try, like that Roe versus Wade is going to somehow affect people's ability to marry who they love based on their skin color. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe she's going to say something more about that. I don't know.
So pretty much we're going... The only thing that's going to have rights in this country is white men and guns.
Oh, this crap. Okay, so first of all, ain't none of those cases getting overturned. They're not.
Ain't gonna happen.
Okay, there was one vote for that, Justice Thomas. We live in this bizarre world in which the left actually believes that all policy is made at the Supreme Court level. Let's say, for example, that Obergefell were actually overturned. How many states would gay marriage become illegal in? 15? 10? California, it would still be legal. Massachusetts would be legal. New York would be legal. Vermont, it would be legal. Maine, it would be legal. Illinois, it would be legal. Oregon, Washington, New Mexico, Colorado. Like, we can go through the list. But there's this belief system on the left that unless the Supreme Court does precisely what they want them to do by preventing all of their fellow citizens from voting on these issues at the state level, then this means that their rights are under grievous assault. That's not the way any of this works. They think that the job of the Supreme Court is just to do what they want it to do, and that's not the job of the Supreme Court. I, for example, am in favor of the availability of contraceptives. I'm against Griswold versus
Well, that's good to know.
Connecticut. It's a badly decided case on the basis of a crap substantive due process argument.
Your moves are weak.
But I can distinguish between what I think the Supreme Court ought to do and my own personal political beliefs because I've read the Constitution of the United States and I understand what the different branches of government do. These people don't care. They just want what they want from the Supreme Court, and if they don't get it, they cry into camera. Well, we'll get to more torture.
I don't know. Anyway, let's push a couple of L's here to go forward while Ben talks about who is sponsoring him. I think that should do it. Let's see.
They even had one of the biggest assurance firms, but behold, you get 3 months for free.
That's a long commercial.
I'm going to leave you with the words from the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, who I've spoken about time and time again, who is our nation's group of leading experts when it comes to the health and well-being of pregnant people. And something you need to understand is that if our policies that dictate healthcare access do not abide by the opinions of leading medical experts, then those policies have no intention of protecting people. ACOG has stated that abortion access is essential for comprehensive evidence-based healthcare. President of ACOG stated today that today's decision is a direct blow to bodily autonomy, reproductive health, patient safety, and health equity in the United States.
That's a political statement, because all of our scientific institutions have been taken over by political activists.
25% of foster children develop PTSD, apparently twice the rate.
I'm developing PTSD from this.
Okay, Ben, he just started singing. He just gave what he thinks is a statistic, a fact. Just maybe hear him out first, okay? Just wait.
Guys singing.
That you're
Right, it's just a guy singing, playing the ukulele. He's having fun. Come on.
pro-life. And 40% of homeless youth are LGBTQ. They come from families that are just like you, but I'm glad you sleep better at night.
Bro, are you saying that people with PTSD don't deserve to live?
If you're that ignorant, no amount of explaining what the song is about is going to convince you. But I really don't think you're that ignorant. I think you're just trying to be inflammatory at this point.
It really is fun. You'll be like, so it sounds a lot like you are saying that people who are LGBTQ homeless youth should have been killed in the womb.
Ben, I think you've lost the plot here. That's not what anyone is saying. They're advocating for compassion for those who are suffering. It's the opposite of killing.
I can't explain it to you, then it can't be explained. No, you can explain it. Explain why that wasn't the argument that you were making. Because the argument you were making is that foster kids end up with PTSD, and therefore you should be pro-abortion. Once you say therefore you should be pro-abortion at the end of that argument, you are now making the case that suffering post-birth is justificatory of death before birth. That is the case you are explicitly making.
Ben, maybe when you rid your body of the bloody corpses of murdered animals, you'll understand a bit better how morally inconsistent and racist towards others you are. By protecting some, cats, dogs, embryos, and fetuses, while condemning others, pigs, chickens, turkeys, cows, and lambs, to a lifetime of suffering by way of rape, torture, confinement, betrayal, and murder. In Holocaust-like conditions, on American factory farms, right now, just because they look different than humans. It's time to protect all life, Ben. It's time to be vegan from now on.
But that's your job. I mean, you have to explain your position, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just,
I kind of agree with him that if you are explaining something to somebody and they're actually listening and they don't understand that it's kind of your fault. I mean, I know that as a teacher, when I stood in front of a class of 28 kids, if there were kids who didn't understand, I thought to myself, okay, how can I explain it differently? Maybe I have to write a song, maybe I have to do a dance, maybe I have to do some more slides, maybe I have to write something down. And everybody does learn in a different way. We know that there are many different ways that people learn musically and whatever, all these different ways. And If the kid doesn't understand or the person doesn't understand, it can generally be the teacher's fault. However, and this is an important however, if the person is not looking at you, they're looking over outside and they have their headphones on and they're not listening, then it is not your fault. So what do you guys think?
Can't explain it, man. You're too ignorant.
Bruh.
So tiresome.
Congratulations! You successfully managed to control women's bodies that much more! Do you think Invisible Man-Made Sky Daddy will love you now? Do you think Invisible Man-Made Sky Daddy will love you now?
See, I'm crazy because I believe in God, but he's saying because...
What do you mean you believe in God? What do you mean, Ben? What does that mean? What is God? God is some supernatural power that you're going to pray to and it's going to do favors for you because you're praying? I mean, God is just a spirit or a being that's in everything, but do you actually think that God has power and is going to listen to your prayer? Or do you think that when you pray, that you are praying to the better part of yourself and that you are going to change yourself? I would really like to know, how is it that you can believe in God? Do you also believe that the earth is flat? Do you believe in mermaids and unicorns? Like, what does that mean? Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't pray, because I think there is value in praying. Because when you're praying, you're essentially talking to the best of yourself, and you are able to change and grow and see things more clearly if you are quiet with your thoughts. So I don't know, do you guys believe in God? And what is God? And where is God? Is God in a Jewish building of worship? Or is God in a Catholic building of worship? Or is God just in our own hands? And we have the power to press keyboard keys and to hug and to do good things, such as run into places where there are hurting animals and save them. Don't we have the power of God within us when it comes to what we choose to buy? We're going to buy the soy milk instead of the cow's milk because we know one hurts the other. Interesting questions to talk about, I think, anyway. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you believe in God? And if you do believe in God, what does God mean to you? And do you think that God has power anymore? Or has God just gone to sleep and just lost any power that he or she ever had? I don't know. You tell me.
Jesus, never do that again.
Oh, I'm getting tired, guys. How many more of these?
I can sort of relate to the expression on his face, like somebody's really upset. And let's just watch. I don't know what else to say.
The most articulate response yet. I like that she's got...
Oh, the little dog's worried. That's not okay. Don't start screaming when you have an animal around. That scares them.
knee pads on to make sure she doesn't hurt her knees when she does this. She must have really bad knees. She puts on the pillow and the knee pads to make sure that she doesn't hurt herself when she drops on the floor and starts screaming like an insane person.
Okay, so he's basically saying that he thinks that this was an act just for the camera and that the person prepared for it. I don't know what to say about that. Is that a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I don't know. It's a way to get attention. I mean, this person definitely got Ben's attention.
Also, I mean, I don't mean to be a fashion critic, but did she pick this up from like Madonna's discards in 19...
What does that have to do with anything, Ben? X to you. X. Okay, we're not commenting about what she's wearing. Come on. Unless it's like something like knee pads, which affects her actions, which shows whether she's sincerely having a meltdown or if she planned it as an actor. But I don't know. Come on, Ben. You're better than that. Come on.
1986.
Where did you get that dress? It's awful.
What is... I like that the dog is looking at her quizzically. It's just the dog enters like, She's like, Rrr. It's the same irrational responses that really I think are...
I don't know, Ben. I think you're lacking a little bit in sensitivity for the animals there. This person just threw herself on the ground and was screaming. I think that animals understand when humans are suffering or when they make loud noises. I don't think the dog is just like nonchalantly looking inquisitively. I think the dog is genuinely concerned. And this is maybe part of the reason why you still eat animals, because you don't understand that animals do have feelings. Now, I'm not saying that animals feel exactly the way that we do, and for sure we know that they will never be able to vote in elections, but animals do deserve a Bill of Rights, just like children deserve a Bill of Rights, and they have one. So would you scream like that and throw yourself on the ground if your 2-year-old was watching? Hopefully not, because you're going to traumatize that kid.
We're going to convince millions that the pro-abortion side is correct. We have concluded here, so I'm going to go rinse.
Okay, so he's basically saying that's it. What do you guys think? Do you think that Ben Shapiro makes some good points, or do you think that he's kind of got a mean streak in him? What do you think about the overturning of the Roe versus Wade? And what do you think as a woman? Have you ever had an abortion? Did you regret it? Or were you happy that you had an abortion? These are all the kinds of things that we can talk about a little bit more on the channel. And of course, we're always going to relate it back to the animals. So my concern is that those of you who say so much that you want to protect life at all costs, like people like Ben, who basically disagree with abortion, it seems like on all levels, if you care so much about this child who is just a clump of cells at the beginning and then has a little heartbeat, even if you can say that you actually believe that well, whatever it is that you believe regarding these cells, or that whether it's an embryo or a fetus, or if you believe in abortion at a late term or young term, early, you think about the animals that are alive right now that you are paying people to murder. Do they not have value themselves? Do they not have the same ability to feel pain? Do they not have a right to their lives, just like you think the unborn child does, or fetus or embryo? So these are questions I'd like to know. Like, how do you justify one? Just saying that one is a bunch of cells, but has the potential to grow into a human, a viable human, a person that's able to walk around and eat and drink and stuff like that. Is that really a reason? I mean, when you have an obvious baby born, like a newborn baby chick, which they murder at just 1 day old in the industry because they'll never be able to lay eggs if they're a boy. Do you not see the comparison that this baby chick also has the right to live? Do you not think that the animals that are alive and walking and mothers and have families, do you not think that their lives matter? So this is something that I'm wondering about with these people on the right who are constantly trying to say that we should listen to the word of God and we should care about the unborn, and yet when there are actual living beings on the planet alive, they don't seem to have a lot of compassion. So what do you guys think? Let me know. If you like this channel, if you think it's kind of interesting going through life and seeing my things from a vegan perspective, let me know. And don't forget, we don't want to eat cats, we don't want to eat cows, because we don't need to. It is healthy to be vegan, and I hope that you will continue on your vegan journey. And again, happy Vegan Declaration Day to all of you who are vegan from this day forward. I'm super proud of you. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.
Let's follow that vegan teacher on YouTube right now. Let's